G'day guys and girls, my name's Jamie Graham. Welcome to another Earth Moving Equipment magazine case study, and we're out here on the outskirts of Canberra. We're with Tim from Summiitt Earthworks. How you going, Tim?
Good, mate. How
That's
are you?
the way. Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to meet you.
That's the way. We've also got Ross from CJD Equipment. How are you, bud?
Good, mate.
And Roscoe, how you going, mate?
All right, mate.
Perfect. Thanks for coming down, guys. So, Tim, look, we're on site down here. Why don't you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and how things got started at Summiitt?
So, we've been operating for about 19 and a half years. Originally just working for other companies doing bulk excavations, and did a bit of a stint with National Parks up at Kosciuszko, and then just decided to go and buy a truck and bobcat and have a leap and go for it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. So, with the National Parks and Wildlife side of things, that's a pretty sort of unique area. I mean, we're out at a great site today. What's typical of the type of works that you do for them?
So really it's a lot of fire management work, rehabilitation, soil conservation work, but then in summer it's a big ramp up with our mulching units and dozers for direct attack firefighting, and providing resources as well with four-wheel drive water trucks and that sort of thing. And then in the winter it's track maintenance, keeping vegetation controlled, and so we keep the machines rolling pretty busy.
So Tim, we saw the mulcher in action this morning on the Volvo, mate. That was a pretty impressive sight.
Yeah, so we're running 3 of those FAE mulching heads. We've actually got one for this machine as well, a much larger one.
Yep.
And the advantage of them, I guess, is that we can take them off, fit buckets, grabs or other sort of attachments, drills, hammers, whatever's required, and then put them on and do our mulching and fire trail work as well.
Awesome, mate. So how many in your team have you got at the moment?
We've got 6 on full time, and then during fire season when we've got spotters, that might ramp up to 8 or 10, subject to the season and requirements.
Awesome.
And then a number of subbies with trucks, truck and dogs and that sort of thing.
Perfect. Mate, you guys have got your fingers in quite a few pies, which is good to see.
Yeah, we do. We can do everything from subdivisions, road building, track maintenance, and then residential, commercial works with detail, footings, foundations,
Awesome. So what's the biggest changes that you think you've seen in the industry over your time?
Well, Canberra, I think's got a bit busy with civil works, and the custom base has risen, but so have the contractors. So that's been a change for us. That's why we're out here. We specialised in that sort of gear, and we don't do that much civil work now, but this is really our primary focus in forestry and fire management.
So Tim, you've obviously had a good relationship with the guys at CJD Equipment. What's been the draw card for both the Volvos and the boys?
Well, I guess I've operated Volvo loaders in the past in another company, and I decided to purchase one of the first ECR 88s into the country many moons ago, and I gave it a shot. It never let me down, and to be honest, we've purchased probably, I suppose, 8 or 9, maybe 10 Volvo diggers off CJD, and to date I've had 0 major mechanical breakdowns or anything that's left us stranded.
How good's that?
Yeah, which is a pretty good run.
Perfect. And you're obviously the owner of the business, but you still spend a fair portion of the time actually operating the machines too, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I'm normally on the machines or in the trucks 5, 6, 7 days a week.
Yep.
And I also do most of the mechanical work on the machines as well. So and that's a big thing for us, particularly working areas like we are now. We can be up to 3 hours out of phone contact, away from town, so reliability is everything.
Is paramount,
Absolutely.
obviously.
Yeah.
And from the operator's perspective, what's been the draw card actually when you're sitting in the cab, putting in those type of hours? What's been the main draw card?
Feedback I get is we're at a pretty low base here in terms of altitude. We can get up to 1,800 metres working in snow.
Cold.
The guys can sit in there, climate controls on, T-shirts, they don't know what the weather's doing. They're a great machine to operate. Normally you're doing a 10 to 12 hour day.
Yep.
And the other big thing for us with the mulching units is they run at about 90%, 95% hydraulic capacity, so the mulch is always drawing that power, and the fuel consumption and fuel returns pretty well unmatched by any other brand, I believe anyway.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. So you've obviously been working with Ross from CJD Equipment, and before that as well. So what's the relationship been like? What's CJD Equipment been like to actually work with on that front?
Been very good. I've got, and with all the sales guys that I've worked with over the last 20 years, you've got direct access to them, direct access to the head of service in Sydney.
Yep.
And then New South Wales State Manager, he rings regularly, or we catch up at events.
Yep.
It's a very, very open, I guess, book.
Yep.
But by the same token, they don't ring and try and sell me a machine. But they still make the contact and let them know that they just catch up for a coffee or something.
Yeah, all about relationships, isn't it?
Exactly.
So Ross, we're down here with Tim and the boys from Summiitt Earthworks, mate. What's the relationship been like working with the guys over the time?
Yeah, good, mate. I've known Tim for quite a while. Used to be a mechanic.
That's right.
Yeah. Did a few services for Tim, a few odds and ends.
Yep.
And obviously now moved into sales.
So Ross, the forestry side of things probably a little bit unique. So how does CJD equipment sit sort of within that industry?
Well, over the last couple of years, I just started doing a specialised excavator. So there's a 25 tonnes sort of range, and then there's a 30 tonne style, but they've just got like beefed up undercarriage.
Okay.
So that's something that sort of at the moment that I've sort of been into down the south coast, sort of seeing a lot of the forestry guys.
Awesome, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's always new territory out there, isn't
That's
there?
right.
New grounds.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Good chatting with you, buddy. Thanks
You
for
too.
that.
Thanks very much, mate.
No worries. So, guys and girls, it's been an awesome opportunity to come down here and catch up with Tim and the guys from Summiitt Earthworks. Ross, good to see you. Ross, good to catch up again, mate. And for everybody at home, thanks so much for tuning in for another Earth Moving Equipment magazine case study. Make sure you stay really safe on site out there, and we'll catch you really soon.